As we embrace and set our new plan, we need to get very, very clear on our focus. What are the areas which are within our control and will have the greatest impact on our results? That's what we really need to focus on. We also need to consider things that we should stop doing so that we can free up time to do new stuff and new things, because what we can say yes to is defined by what we can say no to. To help us get our businesses back on track, back to business, growth, or maintain what you have and keep us on track, I think there's 5 common areas which are likely to have the biggest impact. Firstly, working on the business. We've heard it before. This is essential. It's essential that you take time out of working in the business to working on it. And being here today is a start. Next, reviewing your product or service mix to respond to your customers' changing needs. We must also consider our marketing and communication. Do you have a plan for communicating that you're back in business, that you've changed, that there's certain new offerings and new services? Can you attract a different sector of your market, for example? Then, what human resources do you need? What are your resourcing gaps? Do you need to recruit new team members? Are you over-resourced in any areas? Can you outsource? What HR situations have you got to deal with? And lastly, we'll look at the finance, profitability and cash flow. And this is as much about your personal budget as well as your business budget. For business owners, those are really, really interlinked. What changes you need to make to your budget? What do you need to do differently? What do you need to cut back on? And so on. And also, very importantly, what bank and government support do you need? What are your cash flow requirements? And we'll go into those areas in some more detail right now. So, working on the business. There's lots of cliches out there, and I'm sure you've heard it before about working on the business. But what does that actually mean? Well, working on your business is simply when you can take time out of your day-to-day role and focus on planning. It's so easy to get bogged down in daily tasks and forget to concentrate on what you want your future to look like. Without a plan, you don't have a clear understanding of what you want to achieve. And once you've set that plan, you need to review and update it regularly. Your best efforts in setting out the plan today aren't worth anything if you never look at it again. So you need to set time aside to document your plan and regularly set aside time to ensure you're on track. That is what I'm talking about working on the business rather than in the business. Now, as a leader, there's key habits you need to develop to ensure you have the best chance of success. Deciding time to work on business regularly, that we've just been speaking about, keeping your plan up to date, taking time outside of the business for your own well-being. You've got to stay positive and be above the line. In other words, focus on what we can control. And it's important to measure the right things and take time to look at our numbers and the numbers that count in the business. We always recommend as best practice that our clients have 3 essentials: an annual business plan, an annual forecast, and ongoing reporting and accountability. A plan is essential to set the direction of your business. A forecast is essential to stay on top of cash flow and monitor what's going on and see what's going to be happening in the future. And ongoing reporting allows you to monitor your progress against your plan and against your accountability. And the accountability that you can be held to is the difference between what you expected and what you have, and that accountability can be the difference between achieving your goals or not. It's very difficult to hold yourself to account without someone else helping you with that. Now, this image shows the 10 departments, if you like, of every business, and the link between working on the business in a strategic role as a director or owner and the operational departments. And the plan filters down through the leadership into operational departments down below. You should really be thinking broadly about how each department needs to respond to getting back to business. We're going to focus on the 4 which are likely to be relevant to all of you, but there may be other departments which are equally important. I know many business owners and operators wear many hats, sometimes all of them, but it's important to recognize that and put them in different compartments so each one can be considered individually and properly dealt with.